Yes, yes.
Data analytics.
Data analytics. And Bhavesh, you're also here for data analytics, right?
Yes.
All right. So Shikhar, I would like to hear from you, like how many years of experience you have, which area you're working into.
No, no, I don't have any experience. Actually, I passed out 2018 MCA. So actually, after that, I worked in Amazon 1 year HR assistant as a non-technical.
Okay, great. Okay.
So, so after that, I want to move to IT. So I
Hmm.
learn Power BI somewhere else from YouTube or Telegram channels, but
Ah,
I don't learn too much knowledge. It's only basic knowledge and that from YouTube and Telegram. So that's the reason I want reason this join to this Harsha Technologies.
okay. So you worked from 2018 and Amazon, but later
Yes.
you're working as what? Which designation? Which designation?
No, I didn't work from last 2 years.
Okay, you didn't work from last 2 years. That is what you're saying.
I'm not working from last two
Oh,
years. I'm at home only. So due to my some personal issues, I'm staying at home
okay,
only. So
okay.
now I want to switch to IT.
I got your point. Now you want to restart your career, right?
Yes,
Am I
yes, yes,
correct?
yes, yes. You're correct.
Great. Not a problem. See, I understand all the things, but not to worry. Things will be better with the time.
Actually,
So let's start
what I
it
done
early. You missed
actually,
out.
yeah. Actually, what I done. So exactly 8 months before, I do a proxy for Java. So one of my brother-in-law
Oh,
is working in Java. He has 9 years of experience, but I don't know Java much more. I know only basic concept like OOPS concept. So we do proxy, and I got a placement in Cognizant, and I worked 2 months. After 2 months, they have found out he is genuine or not. So they call me to come to office. So so it's a big headache. So I will resign that organization. Now I want to learn only non-coding technology. Anyone is better. So based on my knowledge, so which one is better? So then I choose the Power BI. Data analytics is good for me. So there is no coding technologies. Only SQL. I have some commands, queries. So that's the reason I want to switch to Power BI.
great, great. No problem. So definitely, so we are going to learn Python here as coding. Let's just sit with the coding knowledge. Actually, our thoughts. Community with teaching. Practice institution. We are just with the clients of the coding. To make it very clear, if you're into the software industry, how come a software industry survive without a coding? You getting my point? Without coding, you cannot be there into the industry. So what exactly you're going to cover is a Python. Okay, now I guess you missed the initial session, so which you were there, which I given 1 week demo. Every day there was a special demo session. So now we have started with a regular batch. This is the first day we are going to have a session.
No, I
So
have knowledge on basic concept like OOPS concept. I learned core Java, so that much I will handle. But in Java, mostly asking microservices like that, so it's a very headache.
yeah, I
So
know,
that's
but
the
in
reason.
Power BI it is of no use. Java cannot be there, but in Power BI you can integrate Python. So what the syllabus we are going to cover is a Python, SQL, Excel, and data analytics. That is Power BI. Okay.
Yeah, with SQL also, right?
Yes, Python also is there. So that means
Yeah,
you
okay,
can
no
apply.
problem.
See, why I'm saying is that you cannot just rely. I'm telling you to both. You cannot just rely on particular tool, right? Today, Power BI is that unless until you start Power BI might get out of the market. You need to have a different source for your job. So what will happen is that you're investing time, you're investing money, and then you find that okay, I don't have a job. Now what I should do? Again, you join a course. So this course will give a door to four opportunities. You can work as a Python developer. Python developer salary in India is around 70,000. How much? Just Python developer, 70,000. If you're learning SQL, because you need one database language, you go to DevOps, you go to Power BI, you go to Tableau, you go to any sector, you need to have an idea of database. Because see, whenever you're working on something, data analyst, there is a data science, there is a data. You work on blockchain, everything requires a data. If you don't have a data, then on what we are going to do in certain kind of operation? But the
Yeah,
SQL is
yes,
important, right? Then we are going to cover
Yes.
SQL. Then we're going to cover Excel because when you talk about Power BI, most of the things are handled in an Excel sheet called as a TSV, that is tab separated value, CSV, if you have heard this word, for the comma separated value, Excel, that is XLSX extension. We are going to learn Excel, and Excel we are going to learn in depth, like how do you do the formatting, how do you apply formulas into formula bar, what is cell, what is lookup. Now coming to the advanced level, what is pivot table, what is HLOOKUP, what is VLOOKUP. So you're going to cover in depth the proper series of Excel, and then we're going to move with the Power BI. Got it? So Power
Okay.
BI, we have a DAX part as well. So DAX is the advanced level. So this is what you're going to cover entirely into the sports data analytics. But I would tell you again and again, I always rely, course is designed in such a way that tomorrow, if you're asked to switch from one domain to another domain, programming language is must. Is for money. See, I don't work for the purpose of money. I'm not going to steal the money from your pocket. The important thing is that if you're investing something, you should get the worth of it. Got it? Because see, I am also a customer to something. If I go out to the market, I am going to buy a certain products, right? So if I'm not
Yes.
giving the right thing to people, so definitely that things will happen with me as well. Some of the customer, right, any of the person who is the seller, so he might say, sir, this is a very good product for you, you take it even though it's not a good product. Why? Because now I can't blame that person. I did the same with the people, right, who paid me. Then if he's doing the same thing, then definitely it's the right thing he's doing with me. Get my point? So whatever I'm telling you, please understand this is what is according to the alteration of the market. Okay. So
Okay.
let's
Okay.
start. If
Okay.
you move to the subject, not a problem. So this is what you're going to work. It's a collab file. As I said, you missed on a few of the sessions. We didn't start anything. We just did a more an explanation part, what we're going to cover. So let's
Okay.
start. So we're right here. Okay. What is the batch collab batch? Uh,
Actually, what happened 4 months before I uploaded resume in Naukri with Power BI and SQL. So I put some experience. So I'm not
okay.
getting calls, but getting calls from very less. So if they are asking Python or R scripting for Power BI, so I added advantages. So they are not preferring for only SQL with Power BI. They want to add knowledge like Python or R scripting. So that's the reason I want to
Yes,
learn
yes.
this.
Right, definitely. That you will require, they also know, say, they are sharp of the ocean. They know what is required in the company. You
Yes, yes,
cannot
yes.
keep, you cannot just rely on the tool. Tools are there today. They are not going to be there tomorrow. If they are not going to be tomorrow, then they'll not ask the company employees to leave. They'll ask you to switch from the one domain to the another tool or something technology. So that is the thing that this person needs to know something about the coding. Because at the end, the software industry is totally dependent upon the coding only, or maybe some integration. So that is what you need to require certain things what are there. So Python, why? Because at least for the next 15 years, Python is not going to go out of the market. Till next 15, maybe you get retired, right? Or I might get retired. So we need to look about our future security, right? After 15 years, what happens, we also don't know.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
let's
yes.
start. So
Yeah.
March 24, what is the timing? 8 a.m. I'm giving a name so you can change the patch. So whatever the names here, you can go to collab. Now let's start with the Python. So when I say Python, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Python. What is the first thing that comes to your mind? Just tell me.
Yeah,
So
it's
write
just a
a comment.
programming language.
Right. It's a programming language that you use to program. Okay, like very good. So when I say Python, the thing called the snake, that should not come into your mind, right? Someone says like, okay, sir, it's a snake. So that is not the mindset. Means what? You're still on a wrong path. When I say Python, if you want to be a hardcore engineer or maybe you want to work into the IT sector, when I say Python, the only thing that should come in your mind is a programming language. That means now you're on the path of becoming a programmer. All right. So let's start. So what is Python? So like weekday, what is the day called today? Weekday, 6, 3, 24. And today is, I guess, what is today?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay, thank you. So Python is an programming language, right? Programming language, first of all. It's a programming language. Secondly, if you see, right, I will write here, first point. Secondly, it is an interpreter language. What is it? Interpreter language. Now, what interpreter language means? I'll tell you. Interpreter. So, interpreter means what? Now, suppose I want to communicate with you, right? And as of which language do you speak at your home? Which is your native language? Both Bhanashri and Shekhar. What is your native languages? Which language do you
Just
speak?
like Telugu and English.
Okay. No, no. You speak Telugu? Okay. So, Bhanashri also speak Telugu. Now, suppose I don't
Telugu.
speak Telugu, right? Now, I want to explain certain things in a Telugu, right? And you don't understand English, imagine. I want to communicate with you Telugu. I don't know Telugu. And you want to communicate with me in English and you don't know English. So here, what happened is that I can't start investing my time in learning Telugu, right? If it is just for one batch, right? You are going to be there for one batch. After 2 months, you'll get deployed to your job, right? Now, imagine if I want to learn Telugu, learning a language is not easy, right? So if I take 6 months to learn a particular language, and after 6 months I come and I say, sir, now I don't want to learn from you. Then my learning is all waste. My time, my money, my efforts are all in the vain. What happened is that instead of me investing my all the efforts, what I'll do is that I'll hire a translator, right? Translator, the literal meaning is that who translate from one language to the another language or one form to the another form. Now, what this translator does is that he knows two languages, English and Telugu. So whenever I am trying to explain certain terms or certain things, right, he will listen to it and as it is, whatever I have said as it is, he will just translate that thing or that word sentences into Telugu and try to explain it to you. So you will listen to him and whatever the doubts, problems you have, anything you want to reply. So you'll speak in Telugu back to him, and as it is, he'll translate back into English. What is happening is that here I have saved my time by hiring a translator who is doing my job. So what I'm saying is that Python is an interpreter language means what? Whenever you write certain things, so Python will convert that language into machine code language. Because the computer understands only one language, that is 0 and 1. We all know. Till to time, the only language the language the computer can understand is only binary language, 0 and 1. If I write something this way, like print, this is some function which is there in the Python. When I say print, print is nothing but the way you used to give a printout. When I say print hello, this is in the English language, right? This is in English language. Hello is the English word. Print is the English word. But this is written in the English language. When I try to run this code, now this code, print hello, will not be understood by computer. Why? Because computer understand only one language, that is the zeros and one. So I need to convert this into zero and one. But I don't know machine language. That is what I said. I don't know Telugu. You get me? But I don't know Telugu. So if I start learning Telugu, it might take 6 months, 8 months. But I don't know. For that, I need to have a regular practice. So it's a wastage of time. After 1 year, I might become a very advanced person. But after 1 year, I come to you and I say, okay, now let's start a new batch. I have learned Telugu. I can explain the thing in Telugu. You would say, sir, I learned it from somewhere else and now I'm working in the industry. I even got 6 to 7 months of salary. You're very late. So it's my time and my energy, everything is waste, right? So it's a stupidity. So what I'll do is that instead of that, my things to be worked out, the things should sort it out. Right. So what I'll do is that I'll hire a translator who will do the job of translating from English to Telugu and Telugu to English. So here Python is nothing but a mediator, or you can say a translator, where I'm trying to speak something in English, right? You need to print hello. So this goes to the mediator. Now here I have hired a translator, right, who knows Telugu and English. So here it is a Python. Python will by itself, right? We don't have to learn how to do the machine code because we are not going to be a machine learning engineer. We are going to be a data analytics, right? So how it has done, that is not our job. We have to mediator, okay, this is what 1,000 rupees for 1 hour. You just need to convert this into this thing, right? I'm going to speak in English. I'm going to speak in English. You just convert into Telugu. Students are going to ask in Telugu. You speak in, you translate back into in English, right? This is 1,000 rupees you'll get after a 1 hour. So that is what the thing. My job is to be done. Same way, Python will convert that English thing into machine code language, then machine learning. Now, this will go something like this way. I don't know what it will go. So this will be the input that will go to the computer. So this is what I've written print hello from Python, right? With the help of Python. So here Python comes into the play. So Python, I'll say. So now Python has converted this into machine code language. Machine code has learned, understood that this is hello. So then again it generates an output, again saying 10101, whatever is there, and then it sends back to this screen. This is output screen. This is an output screen. So here again this Python is there. Now who Python knows English and machine code language. So again with the help of Python, it is again converted into the English language. We get an output called as a hello. We get an output called as a hello. So this is what I said, print hello. Then Python converted into the machine language. The machine language understood you wanted to print hello. So it again printed back the output. And output was again converted by Python. Now it is with the Python. So this Python again converted into English. So when I comment this part, if I run this code, you'll get an output called as a hello. I'll comment this part. So this hello was there. It went to Python when I run this code. Python converted into this binary code. Then binary code understand what exactly I have to print. That binary, this is an input. Till here it is an input. From here, now the output is generated. So from here, the output is generated. It is sent back to the Python, the output. Now Python understood that these humans will not understand this code. Let me convert that into the English. That is what this output was. So this is nothing but an interpreter language. Interpreter means what? Translating. So when you watch a dubbed movies, right? Suppose you're watching an Hollywood movies which are dubbed in Hindi, or you watch the Telugu Tamil movies dubbed in Hindi, right? Or maybe Hindi movies dubbed in Telugu. So you will see that they have done a dubbing dialogue by dialogue. It's not that they have done certain dubbing in the beginning and the certain dubbing in the end, right? Or they have not done the dubbing entirely in a one go, right? It's a dubbing line by line, right? Whatever the repeat lips movement, the guy hero is speaking or the hero is speaking, that exact lip sync should match with the dialogue. That is what the translation is, right? So it's a line by line, the dialogue by dialogue. Whatever the dialogue, hero or actor, whoever the character is there, he's speaking, that character, that lip sync should match with the dialogue. So that is nothing but the dubbing artist is trying to do a dubbing. Interpreter is what? Here is a mediator who translates the language from one language to the another. Okay. So we are writing in English language. Whatever, whichever coding you do, Python, C++, Java, etc., you are writing in the English language. Suppose if I ask you to write in a machine code language, right? So maybe for hello, it is 0101, right? Something. If I ask you to write print welcome, right? So I don't know the binary code that is of welcome. So this is what maybe welcome. Then I ask you to write morning. So you will say this way. So how many binary words you're going to remember, right? So instead of English language from junior KG, then you need to start learning binary language. Then and then only you'll understand what is the machine code. But if you start learning everything, still it will be a very big chaos because only the output is in 101010. Apart from this, the computer will not accept, even not two will be accepted. Even two is not there. Only the value that will be there is 10101. Got it? So how many 1 zeros you are going to remember? There are like n number of words. So this is Python is one word, right? Programming is one word. So language is one word. So here only see you have three words. So are you going to remember machine code for three different words? No. Now to time, like since 10 minutes, I've been speaking in English continuously. So if I speak in like 1001, okay, 10, okay, 001, no, no, zero. So you'll not understand, sir. You'll say what you're speaking. I wanted to say Python is a programming language. I speak in machine language. So you say, sir, we don't know machine. Getting my point? So now what is interpreter language? Interpreter means what? It will convert line by line. Now if I've written one line of a code, if I copy this line of a code, okay, let me comment this part now. And if I print multiple times, now, as I said, in the movies, the dialogue, delivery, dialogue, or whatever the translation is done, it's done line by line. Right? Even if you want to translate a book, right? If you are watching a Harry Potter book, you are reading a Harry Potter book. Now that Harry Potter book is in English, so it has to be written in Telugu. So what it will done is that it will not be translated that this last part will be written in the first, right? This middle part will be written at the last, and then this first part will be written at the last. No, whatever the Harry Potter book is written as it is. So line by line, word by word, it will do the translation, right? That you can understand what is there in the book. Similarly, Python also does the line by line execution. First, it will execute first line, okay, then second line, then third line, then fourth line. So it is that line of a code. So if you have written 10,000 of line of a code, still it will do line by line execution. First line, second line, third line. And wherever it finds an error, now suppose there is an error. If I run this code, I will get 4 errors. That is okay. But if I find an error over here, this way, if I find an error over here, so what is happening? Now it will throw an error. See, it generated one output, hello. Why? Because this line is correct. So it gave me an output called as a hello. But here it is an error. It says syntax name error that this is not defined. That means what? When you're writing a string is nothing but a sequence of characters, right? H, E, L, O. It's sequence character means what? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? Whatever. So when you're writing something, right, in a sequence of characters, it should be in a code. When I correct this sentence, when I corrected that syntax, so now the output will be correct. Hello, hello, hello. So that means what Python gives us a big advantage that it will not compile the entire line of a code. It just in assume if you're writing a 5,000 line of a code, right? So definitely it is going to take time. It's not going to happen that within a second it is going to generate an output because Python also has to translate, right? Even if you're reading a book, right? You read, it needs time to read book and then try to understand and then try to explain. When I'm trying to teach you Python, it's not that I learned Python in the morning and I'm coming here and try to teach you. It took me several years, right? I have a 10 years of experience. So it took me around like 10 years to properly understand the technology, to practice real time, to work in the industry. And after that, when I understood, okay, I have been capable of training, and then I got into the industry. It's not an overnight thing. It took me several years to build the courage to understand the language, to understand the concepts, theoretical programs, every single thing before I put into the training part. Getting a point? So similarly, when you're trying to do a run that entire course, it is going to take time. Now, if there is an error, if on the third line, right? After that, no matter how many lines you have written, so this is right. Fourth line is correct one. Still, it will not generate an output. What it will say is that you correct. So it gave this first two output. Why? Because first two output were correct. The line of code were correct, so it gave an output. Third, it was wrong. So no matter after that how many lines are correct. So if I return two more lines, so like hello, hello. Even though we know that the lines below that is correct. See, this is a correct output, right? This is given the same right output. This line of code has no error. This also has no error. But what happens is that Python to save time, after running 5,000 line of a code, right? Imagine it took 10 minutes to run that entire line of the code. How many? 10 minutes. So after the 10 minutes, you didn't get an output. You got an error like this way. That is what just you are not having a single quote or double quote. So it's a stupidity. You may think that I have written such a beautiful logic. I have built such a good an application or I've done a good dashboards, etc. I just got a small error saying quotes missing, right? Again, what you do is that you put quotes over here, right? You put the quotes over here. Now what happened is that in that 5,000 line of a code, again somewhere here also that codes are missing, right? And again you run that like 5,000 line of a code, and after 5,000 line of a code, again you get the same error at some another line. It's a stupidity. What if you just when you start running a code, where you find the error, it should stop its running. Okay, you find an error over here. To correct this error, then and then only I'll go ahead. That means what? Imagine how much time it is going to save. Right? If it error was on the third line only, so within a second or 2 seconds, it will say, sir, you have an error over here. That means what? You don't have to wait for 10 minutes. Your time is to be saved. Python gives an advantage that you can save the time. Why? Because wherever it finds an error, so there at that point only it stops its execution. From there, the execution will not go ahead. From there, it will stop its execution. The the what is the compiling or the translation will be stopped, and you need to fix that error, debug that error, and after that you again run it. Then and then only I'll go to the next part. So when I fix this error, then and then only we'll go to the next point. Now we had only two outputs. Now we'll have six outputs because now there is no error. Correct. So this is saving time. So that is the biggest advantage that I see in the Python because when I tried to do a programming, I used to come across if you talk about Java, you talk about C++, there are like of curly braces. So I spent my entire time in finding out where is the curly braces. Means I am writing a good logic. If I'm having a bad logic, that is okay. But curly braces is not a cup of tea. If you're getting an error from like this curly braces, how many curly braces should I fix? Right? So you'll get angry, you'll get frustrated just because of this thing. Okay, this is called as an interpreter language. Now, interpreter means what? It does a line by line translation. So it will not compile just like Java and C++. It will not compile this entire line. Compilation means what? This entire line of a code is run and then output is generated. That is called as compilation. But Python is not a compilation. It's an interpreter language. Interpreter means what? It will do line by line execution. This line first, then second line, then third line. Compilation means what? It will run entire line of code, no matter how many are there. This is called as a compilation. And interpreter means what? Line by line. Now, is it clear, Hanushri, what is compile time and what is interpreter? And what is Python? Now, got it? Shekhar?
Yes, yes, yes. Just clear.
Yes.
So
Okay.
I have
If you are
one doubt.
unclear,
Also, you said it's an interpreter is a line by line compilation. So sorry, it's not compilation, right? So it's an interpreter. It will line by line
translation.
execute. Yeah, if I have 20,000 lines, 30,000 lines, in that
Ah,
I have error like an a 20,000 line in a error in a 20,000 number of line. So how can I
not
rectify
right.
that error?
It will show now. It will show you word. Yeah. See,
So
when I run this code,
it will show just like error here is wrong, but
so see,
it's
look
too
at
much
now.
lines, right? With the 30 thousands of line.
See,
It will give
it is said now. It has said. That is what I'm saying, Shekhar. Look at it. It has said at seven number of line.
okay, okay,
It is
okay.
showing you where exactly. It will try to
Yeah.
explain you where line. So from here you can just say Control F, and then see when you say Control F, you get that word and you type hello. See, look at it here. Look at it here. Look. See, I'm
Yes, yes,
writing
yes, yes.
writing
Yeah.
here. So
Yes,
you
yes.
from
Yeah.
F, you can find where is the 20,000 line, and you get and you just fix that error. Okay, I found that 20th line. I'll come back and I'll say I'll okay, what is missing this code, and I'll put that code. Done. That's it.
Oh,
Error solved. Right?
okay, okay.
So it
Thank
will
you.
show you on that particular line. See, here it is there. So what error is there? It is also going to show, say, name hello is not defined. Why?
Yeah, okay.
Because it's not a variable. Name means what? It's not a variable. I'll tell you what is variable, etc. So I'll just try to make you acquainted with what is Python. Okay,
Oh,
great.
oh.
And anything apart from here, we got it. What is Python and what is interpreter?
Yeah, yeah. Everything is clear as of now.
Okay, great. So this is what this Python. Now let's move ahead with what are variables. Okay, what are variables? So let me present something on the screen. Mm, Give me a second. Let's start with a variable. So what exactly variables are? Now you have a name, right? Like Bhanushri is her name, Shekhar is your name. Now if I say, did you guys understand? Right? Did you understand? If I just say, did you understand? So is it clear from my saying that whom am I asking? Is it clear? When I say, did you understand? Are you able to understand like whom I'm trying to point out? Is it like a Bhanusri or is it like Shekhar? Is it clear? No, it is not clear, right? But when I say Shekhar, did you understand? So now is it clear that I am trying to ask Shekhar? Yes or no?
Yes, you're particularly mentioning that name, right? So it's very much clear.
Yes. So when I say like Bhanushri, did you understand? So that means what Shekhar says that okay, sir is not asking me. It's like Bhanushri is the one who should answer. When I say Shekhar, are you able to hear me? That means what? Now Bhanushri has understood that sir is asking to Shekhar. So what I'm trying to mention over here is that the bottom line is when I'm saying in general, like did you guys understand? That means what? You guys are unclear to whom I'm trying to mention, whom I'm trying to ask. But when I take a noun, that is when I take a name, so from the name, it is very specific, it is very precise that you guys understand that it's me to whom sir is asking something. It's me that sir is trying to tell me something. It's me that is precise. It's a specific one. Now, this is not a general one. So here also, now when you talk about the variable, variables are also named. Get my point? When I try to make it specific, right? If I'm trying to ask you, like, am I audible? Shekhar. That means what I'm trying to ask specifically to the Shekhar. Now, if I say, Bharnashri, are you able to see the screen? So that means I'm trying to make it specific. So variables are such in such same thing. When you want to assign a value, right? When you're going to perform, see, now you need a value. Unless until you don't have a name, how will you identify it? I suppose if someone customer calls you, sir, there is a parcel to be delivered. So he'll ask you, so where should I deliver? And if you say, sir, you tell that guy, deliver me in Hyderabad. I live in Hyderabad. So tell me, is it easy to deliver that Amazon guy to deliver your parcel in Hyderabad? Hyderabad is a big city. Where will he deliver your particular parcel? You have to be very specific to deliver that particular object, right? So in similar way, variables are nothing but a name that has a value, that holds a value, so that you can use that variable for operations, right? Because see, we are going to learn certain programming, right? So it cannot be that you are not going to perform any operations. Like what can if I talk about the calculator? So what are the basic operations that calculator does? What are the basic operations that calculator does? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, yes or no? But for that, what you need is an input, right? If I say 5 plus 5, then it will not only 10 will be the output. So what I need to do is that I need to pass an input. So similarly, when I talk about 5 and 5, the 5 and 5 are nothing but the values. What are those 5 and 5? 5 and 5 are values. Similarly, here also, now when you talk about the variables, variables are nothing but the name identify that value. Just like you have a name, so that is an identification of your personality. Right? My name is Sangram. So that is my identification. People identify me with my name. What is that my name? Sangram. Right? If they say he is a good trainer, that is what but who? He is a good trainer. When I say Sangram is a good trainer, that means what now they're talking about me. So getting a punch, variables are nothing but a name which holds a values for the further operations. Got it? So now you can see on the left hand side, those are called the variable. That is, if I see car here is a variable. And then when you use an equal to sign and then pass a value, the right hand side thing always becomes a value. Remember, LHS is a variable. Variable is nothing but a name, right? And RHS is nothing but a value. That value, BMW, you're trying to assign that BMW value to a variable called as a class. That means what? They have given a particular name to your personality, right? So your personality will have a name like Manushri, Shekhar, Sangram, Rohit, Jason, etc. So here BMW is one value that is stored in the variable called as a car. Whenever I want to fetch that value called as BMW, I'll use a variable called as a car. Okay. So now I hope what is variable. So variables are nothing are containers for storing the data values, right? So when you want to store the data, we are going to use a variable. So variables are nothing but a name in the real world. In the real world, as I said, Singram, Gomit, etc. So in the real world, those are nothing but a name. Clear? So Python allows you to assign multiple variables in one line. So now suppose if I want to show my first name and the last name, it's not necessary just like I can create a new variable called as a car1 and car2. Instead of creating car1, BMW, car2, Audi, what I'll do is that I'll say car1. Example, if I say first name is equal to Sangram, the second name, like sorry, last name is equal to Bugatti. See, I've written first name is equal to Sangram, last name is equal to Bugatti. So instead of writing that code into two lines, what I'll do is that I'll do it in separate, comma separate. You can see over here, XYZ. So I'll say first name, comma, last name, and equal to, I'll say, and then I'll pass my value, like Sangram, comma, Bagade. So what will happen is that now that first name will hold the value called as my first name, that is Sangram, and last name variable will hold my last name value, that is called as Bagade. So instead of writing line by line, what I can do is that I can write within the line. I'll do it practically, not to only try to understand the concept part, try to understand the graphical part also. But it is clear what exactly is variable, yes or no?
Yes, yes, clear.
Okay, great. Manashri, is it clear what is name, what is variable? So variable are nothing but the identities
Yeah.
that you use to identify for a particular value. Right? So if someone wants to call you, right, when I say Manashri, I cannot say, hey, you lady, did you understand? So it is a very inappropriate, right? So if there is only one girl, okay, but if there were multiple girls, then the big question arises like whom sir is trying to call. You need to have a specific variable or a specific name to particular value. Okay, so here in the object, in the well, this is something important. When you try to create value, right? create a variable to store a value. So you're going to store somewhere in your computer, right? So here this advantage is given that you just try to understand this is just a concept part. The reference of a value is created, not of an object. What exactly this means is that, I'll tell you. I'll do it practical and then I'll show you. But rules to define a Python variable. So when you're going to give a name to a variable, so how do you do that? So you can see this is some set of rules. So first rule says a variable name must start with a letter or an underscore character. So what do you mean by letter? What do you mean by letter? The letter means what? We have learned there are 26 alphabets in the English language. A, B, C, D. So letter means what? When you're going to start your variable, it should start with a letter. That means what? When I talk about my name, have you heard a name called as 10 Sangram or 19 Shekhar or 23 Manushree? No. We have heard the name in the letters only. Yes or no? So your name, my name, everything consists of alphabet. The way determines what your name should have hold only alphabets, or not alphabets, letters, I would say, A, B, C, D. It should start with a letter or an underscore character. So only special character that you can use in the variable declaration is underscore. I'll do it practically, I'll just understand. A variable cannot start with a number. That is what I said. Have you heard that anyone name starts with a number? No. Everyone starts their name with a letter, right? There are no numbers at the beginning, so you cannot use a number in a at the beginning, I'm saying, at the beginning of your variable. A variable can consist alphanumeric character and underscore. That means what? You can have a combination of alphabets as well as number. But remember, when you're going to start the name, right? So this is like, suppose this is a very word called the rules. You look at the rules for Python variable. We can see this word called the rules. That means what? Your starting alphabet is R. That is what it is saying, that it should either start with letter, that is A to Z, whatever the alphabets are there, or you can use underscore, but you cannot start with the number. That is what you cannot start saying like 11 rules, 12 rules. You need to specify R at the beginning and then here in between you can use the alphabet, number, sorry. It is okay. That is the third point. And it is case sensitive. Case sensitive means what? Look at the example. This date, which is in the small case, is different from this case where first character, that is G is capital, and this date is different. So these three dates, they the pronunciation is same, the spelling is same, but first date, second date, and third date, these three dates are different from each other. Got it? And there are several techniques to write these multiple variables. So one is camel case, one is Pascal case, and the one is snake case. What is camel, Pascal, and snake will do it. Now, is it clear how do you declare a variable?
Yes, yes, sir.
Is it clear?
So,
Okay. So let's see how do you declare a variable. So if I run this code, I get notebook variables, right? So variables are nothing, but when I say car, right? So it's a B and right. And if you want to print something, you need to say print because whenever you want to print something, you need to say print. Now see, I'm not going to print BMW. The reason not to print BMW is that because now I'm holding that value into a variable. So when I print that variable, right, I get an output called as BMW. So here, if I want to use that value. See, I want to use that value called as a BMW. Okay, BMW. So I cannot write every time car is equal to BMW. Car is equal to BMW. That means what? It's of no use. If I'm trying to write this line again and again, again and again, this is called as a garbage coding. But I already had assigned this value to a certain variable. This is like assigning your name to a particular roll number. Now, if you're studying in the college or university, so you have your name assigned to a roll number. Or you can see you're working in a company, so your name is assigned to an employee ID, right? Maybe employee ID one is like Harsha employee ID two, Shekhar employee ID three, is like Sangram. It's like the same value. We're assigning the names to a particular employee ID. So when I want to use this value called as BMW, so I'll not write the code again and again. I'll just call that variable. So I'll say print car. So I'll get that value. So as I said, we can use it for the particular operation. So when you want to perform certain operation, now I'm getting BMW. So no matter how many times if I write print car, I'll get the same value. That is BMW. Clear? So this is what a variable. Now let's see how do you declare a variable. So when you're trying to declare a variable, first it should start with a character, right, or a letter. So this is what you can start, CAR. Or second was written, you can use an underscore. So you can write this way as well. I'll say first name is equals to the right Sangram. So you can start this way. First Instagram, and I say print first name. See, I got Sagara. So you can start with a letter or you can start with an underscore. Now the third point says that we're talking about numbers that you cannot start. The third rule was you cannot start with a number. When I said set 10 last name, when I said 10 last name, so is equals to Bagad, right? See, already it is showing an error. Even if I try to bring that word, it is going to thread out. Because third rule says that you cannot start your variable with a number. So it is showing an error. Got it? Clear? Now, fourth point was it's a combination of alphanumeric. So here, instead of at the beginning, I can give at the end. This is okay. If I enter value, integer value at the end, that is okay. So this will be acceptable. This will not throw an error. Will get me an output. Right? So you can use in between also. If I write here something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, here also it is okay.
So it's a Python have naming rules, right? Variable rules.
Yes, yes. Same down. You can use underscore in between also. Whatever you want. If you want at the end, it is also okay.
Sangram, I have another doubt. Can I ask you?
Ah, yes. If I
So
run
if
this
a
code,
vari
hmm,
okay, if your variable car is saved as a BMW, right? So if I have another variable like vehicle equals to BMW, okay.
hmm,
So
ah,
if car equals to BMW and vehicle also equals to BMW, so which memory allocate? It will allocate same memory or another different memory allocations for each variable.
same memory allocation. Same memory
Same.
allocations. If I say car is equal to BMW, when I say vehicle is equals to BMW. So that is what here the memory of the values are created, not of the objects, just like Java. So when I say car, and if I say there's a function called an ID. Because when I say ID is equals to car, look at it, what is the output? So I get a memory location. At this memory location, the value is stored, right? So BMW is stored at a value called as this memory location internally on your what do you say drive or on
Memory.
your cloud,
Yes, yes.
right? Not volatile memory. When I say print ID of vehicle, when I say print ID of vehicle, the both location will be same. That means what? The reference will not be same. See, 36, 36, 536, 536. That means what you read out the number. So that means what I'm saying is that from this slide, if I show you, hold on, I'll show you. The slide which I try to explain you something. It must slide visible. This part, see this part. When you create a variable and assign a value, right? So when I say A is equal to, when I say car is equal to BMW, right? So this BMW is stored into my hard disk, right? To make it very easy, right? When you click a picture, it gets stored into your gallery. When you try to download something, it goes stored into your, if you're using an iPhone, it gets stored into the iCloud or maybe on your phone storage, right? That is what you say, no, 128 GB RAM, sorry, I have a 128 of internal memory, 256 of internal memory GB. That is not nothing but a storage. So storage is what when you're trying to download something, you're trying to save something, you're putting into that chip, right? When I say A is equal to 50, this 50 is stored into your hard disk. So now when I say B is equal to BMW, right? Just like A is equal to car and BMW, sorry, A is equal to car is equal to BMW and vehicle is equal to BMW. What is happening is that this BMW is already stored, right? Now it is not creating a separate value for vehicle is equal to BMW. We already knows that car has a value called as BMW, so it is just going to use that vehicle as a reference. It is not going to create a separate memory for that another BMW. It is going to use the same memory location and it is going to use that variable as a reference. So that is what it is going to save your space. That means what? Now you have clicked the picture, right? You have clicked the picture, and when you take a copy of it, when you take a copy of it, so that copy also gets saved into your mobile. So that saved copy, that another copy is going to occupy different space on your mobile. So that is what I'm saying. When you're trying to create a copy, the BMW is value, right? And now you're creating one more copy of BMW with one other name. Now this another BMW will not occupy separate space in your phone or your say. I'm trying to make an example. It's not about mobile. It's about the system programming. This another BMW will not have a separate space into that system. It will use the same space. It will not create a separate space into the memory. Got it? This is called as memory allocation.
Yeah, yeah, very much clear.
Okay. So it will just use a reference because yeah, then you need a reference because even there are two students called as the Sangram. So their roll number will be different. Even though they share the same name called as Sangram, but their roll number will be different. That means what? Now value is same, BMW. So even though this is an original copy of BMW, this is an original BMW and this is a copy of BMW. But still this copy of BMW will not be stored at a different location. Means what if I every word they are writing 20,000 of in a code, and out of that 20,000 of line of a code, you have like 100 values which are the same, repeating. So that is why it is going to occupy some memory. Yes or no? So it's an unwanted memory, even though the value is same. So that is what to save that memory. This Python gives a very good advantage of memory allocation and object reference that you, no matter you're having one value, but if you have a reference 100, still you will use the same value one day, same memory one day. You will not create a separate memory. You will not use separate space. You have already used the same space for a particular value. So you use that same value and same space only. I'll not give you a different space. Now got it? So this might some find you technical. If you're known to the words, it's okay. If not, just try to understand. See, step by step, you'll understand the things. Do not be very chaotic what is happening. Takes time. What I told you same way. It took me 10 years to do the thing. With the time only, you'll be able to understand the things. Okay. Now try to understand variables. So till here we are trying to explain the variable. But one more thing is that if I have a variable called as an about us, I'm showing you that. So if I use a variable called an about us, so you cannot have a space between about us. That is, if I say about us, this is about us, right? So you cannot have a space between where you should not look at this part. This is just a value. Talking about the variables, we are learning variables. So variables cannot have a space in between. If I say copy part, this I copy, and if I paste it over here, and now if I paste this variable, what is an about us? If I run it, it will show an error, invalid syntax. So you cannot have a space between variable. You can use you can write this way, and it will okay, it is okay. Or you can use a underscore between them. It is still okay, whatever you want. Or you can give a with alpha this integer something. This is also okay. But you cannot have a space between. If you use a space between, then it is going to throw an error. Okay, clear? Got it? What is variable? All right. I hope you have understood what Python language is and what is variable in Python. Right? So now last point before the today's session. Third last point was the cases. What is camel case? What is a Pascal case? And what is snake case? So first I'll explain what is snake case. So snake case means what? When you write all the variables, so when I write this way, about about us. So look at it. Every letter is in the small case. Small case, uppercase, lowercase, you know that capital letters, small letters, right? So you see all the letters, that is what all the alphabets are in the small case. So this is called as a camel case. When I say right, about, we'll get this is about. Now next is Pascal case. What is Pascal case? So Pascal case. The Pascal case means what? First alphabet, not first alphabet, first letter of every word is capital. So I'll say about us. You look at it. The first letter, the first alphabet, for all the value is what do you say? Even you can say if you have about us, hello, or maybe anything about us, hello. Right. You look at it. So this what I'm saying. First letter of all the words. So I'm using three words over here, right? About, us, and hello. So you see all the first letter of all the words are capital. So this was a passive case. Pascal case. I've written a wrong way here. So this P should be capital in Pascal. P capital, and in the case also this full Pascal case. Now last one is nothing but a camel case. So what camel case means what? It's like a hum, camel. So first word will always be small, right? All the words. And then all the words, like if what you say, really, hello, variable, alright, whatever. So then all the words, first letter will be capital. So look at it. In the US, US capital, hello, H is capital, in variable, V is capital. Only the first word are all in small letters. So when I copy this part, just it. This was called as a camel case. When I run it, not the same. Right? So this is like you can say this is snake case. This is Pascal case. This is camel. Got it? In the snake case, all the words are in smaller variables. All the variables are in smaller case. When you talk about Pascal, all the first letter of all the words are capital. And in camel, the this is sorry, this is camel. No? And the camel first word, right, will all be in the small case, and then for the second word, first letter will always be capital. It's like here, say U is capital, here H is capital, here V is capital. Right? This is called as a camel case. Clear? Everyone?
Yes, it's
All right.
clear.
Good. So, all right, we'll stop over here. It's 9 o'clock. I'll go through the variables, go through Python something, and then we'll continue tomorrow. Right? Let's stop. Let's meet tomorrow. Okay?
Okay, Sangam.
Got it? All right. Bye bye. Take care and have a good day. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Mm.
Yeah.
Bye, Sangam. Thank you.
Bye, Sanjay. Have a nice day.